everyone. This is Evelyn, and I have 3 of my channel messages of the day for you guys, as well as the abbreviated 7-deck read on the table. Obviously, it's not 7 decks, but I do have 3 decks out there today for the Twin Flames. And we're going to roll the die and pull some oracle cards as well. So let's get started. Let's go ahead and take a few deep breaths if you'd like to. Another deep breath. One more deep breath. Give a big hug to the world if you'd like, with some white light. Sending blessings to everybody. I hope you're having a beautiful day. Thank you so much for joining me. And I want to get right into these messages. I was tuning into my inner child to see if she was doing well today and to see if she had a message for you guys. And I was getting again, you are 16 going on 17, and that was making her all giddy, you know, like a little kid who knows something special is about to happen, or she's going to get to do something she loves to do, and she's all excited. She kind of have that, you know, where they're looking up in the air because they don't know what to do with themselves. So she had this really cute, excited look on her face. Let's see what the dice have for you guys. Here, let's put the bowls aside as well. And Teddy went to the spa today, so he's feeling all clean and special. All right, for the Twin Flames, here we go. So we have Venus coming up here, so perhaps some Libra and Taurus energies there, as well as the 3 of coming together. It's the Empress and Taurus energies. It's also about just socializing, coming together in general, good luck, happiness, abundance. We have Libra again over here. So again, we have Taurus with the Empress and Libra again with Venus. So it's all about Venus today. And we have the 3 in the middle there. So very feminine energies of love and abundance. And again, so much romance is coming up, and they're sitting on a flower, a beautiful pink flower of compassion. And these 3 cards that came up here were unity, the sun, unity, and flowers, with 30, 34, and 11, which is the home or union, the energetic exchange, with justice, truth, balance, and alignment of the flowers, of the earth flowering, of springtime. So let's go ahead. I'm going to pull a card from the messages of love first before we get into the reads. And I think the one on the table might be the second read, but I'll do them in the order that I did them today. Okay, and I'm seeing the letter K. My little nephew's letters. K is coming up today. I don't know if the letters I have left. This is last year at a birthday party. I forgot. I keep forgetting to take it back to their house. My nephew had dumped their letters in my purse. And I don't know if I tried to see what the letters might have spelled. We have an E in there, and a C, and an X, and a P. What else is there? And one more, there's an I as well. So there's 2 vowels, definitely some words there. Oh, that's funny. My maiden last name is in there. I didn't realize that before. Okay, just to start off, what is the message for you guys? We have this card coming right away. True love. This love is emotional, physical, and unconditional. You have learned the spiritual lesson. The underlying energy is the here and now. Your true love is already a part of your life. This love is emotional, physical, and unconditional, and you've learned your spiritual lesson. So this is a very beautiful energy for you guys. Okay, let's, here, I'll put this over here. We'll put these over here. And so this is the first read here. Yep, okay. So the first deck here that was done is the Journey of Love at the top, and then we have the Fortune Oracle, and then the combined Lenormand, Reverie, and Kipper decks together. And the bottom there I have the Wild Unknown, but also I used the mini deck there to clarify. So, as you can see. And yeah, for those of you not familiar, the underlying energies from the bottom of the deck are on the left. I usually deal 3 cards unless another one comes out with the 3rd card. And then the other cards that want to come out from the deck organically, I use for numerology and to finish the storyline. So this is the first one. These are all from the 21st through today, the 23rd of May, 2023. And on the 21st, I woke up at the time of my birthday. It was 9/18, and that's always a good sign for me. And again, it's not about me and my birthday. It's about the reference of the feminine and the alignment that we're going through. And I started pulling these cards. The Journey of Love was at 10:29, and then the Fortune Oracle was 10:32, the Journey. 29 is the 3 of Wands. 10:35 was the Lenormand Kipper deck. 35 is the Wounded Warrior. 37 is the Wild Unknown. That's the King of Cups. And then the Queen of Cups to the Knight of Cups with 38 to 39 was the mini deck clarifiers at the bottom. And the numbers at the end piles came out to 1, 2, 2, 1, and perhaps 1 and 3 on that one as well. So there's 12, 21 coming up again. And also 4, 4, 2, 7, 6, perhaps 34, and 6 coming onto the end of that as well. So the 12, 21 leap and fly, the transition leap to her harvest to 76 perhaps, and there's a reference to the United States birthday there, which is coming up in July, of course. And then the 8 of Pentacles as well, which is getting your ducks in a row, aligning, working, being creative, perhaps working like an assembly line, in the energetic exchange with lover or 2 families back and forth. The gate holders with the Fool between, in a leap to energetic exchange, crossing back and forth, to the 2 of Cups and the Chariot and the lovers, in energetic exchange with their lover. The hanging man in the world with new perspectives of wisdom to be, just be. The human or the who, 4th finger to 4th chakra, to the 7th, and spiraling to source and lover, transcending the 9 of Swords, suffering and silence, to the 6 of Cups, innocent love, the children of God, source of all that is. So the underlying energy started with the 17 and her grace, the 36 of Big World, and the 35 of the 9 of Swords, Wounded Warrior, anchoring in. The Star of the 17, and also the Death card was there with 13, shining a light, her grace, and extending her healing hand to the world at large, and Atlas with their map of intent, the Wounded Warrior cutting anchor to be the starfish and shine their light. Atlas leaving the Wounded Warrior behind, which is referencing that victim mentality, and moving on up to a deluxe apartment in the sky, in need of the truth and clarity of the King of Swords upright, and their key to pulling the sword from the stone, to come together in joy and not telling, or with delay after delay, to the 5 of Pentacles patience, or those out in the cold and left behind, perhaps injured or ill or in exile, lovers without sources, as the Knight of Swords reversed is holding their tongue, learning how, when disappointed or bored, to ground and integrate and master receiving of love from the source and sun, energized fully with sunshine, vacation, kids and pets, or Leo and the positive side of pride and exposure, or play, or learning not to get triggered or react when the Knight of Swords reversed lashes out, lies, or holds back. As the King of Swords is doing all the work, as the Atlas 10 of Wands energy, and the Knight of Swords is reversed, with the 9 of Wands Wounded Warrior who only complains, So just allowing and ignoring their words or lack of to be happy and energized instead of being vampired or having energy taken away from or being influenced by negative energy. So at 11:06, which is justice in the lovers, the underlying energy of 70 in heaven and the Two of Pentacles, of the 10 of the Wheel of Fortune and 3, 2, 1, the 40 of the Page of Cups and the Void, the 24 of the Queen of Wands and the space between, and the 17 of the Star and her grace, juggling, performing to project heaven on earth, perhaps the destiny of 3, 2, 1, the abundance and joy of the Magician embodiment, and the space between for 2 plus 1, the Page of Cups in the Void, and the 24, or the 2 and 4, which can be the spaces between, and the card is the space between, the Omega and feminine ego, and word not said, and yet her hand is still extended, with Libra and Aquarius, water and fire, projecting the coupling off of pairs as the portal in 4 steps leap into her grace. And sealing the deal at 11:13 of justice and the transition, or again, the 13 is the capital letter B of just being. The first card here is the 41 of the Mary Magdalene Buttercup energy and her harvest, the weight of her world, carrying the emotional weight or the baggage and knowing without knowing. The 47 of the 4th chakra of the heart to the crown, but also the 47 of the 7 of Cups and synchronicities and choices and perhaps being confused at times, but being soft. It's to soften you with synchronicities in heaven in your eyes, the pearl inside of the 20 of the sweet soul rising in a wake-up call, calling all angels, one and all. 11:15, justice and the devil, with mother and child, and the 3rd leap that is the charm, sticking the vault or landing. As the 29, the 3 of Wands, in the spiral dance of the goddess, the fallopian tubes freed up or untied, or repairs have been made etherically. What once was is no longer the case, as the 48 of man of the earth and woman of the sky, as all the divine feminines in the vortex within lay down their hair to welcome the golden light, collected from the pin. And for those of you who've been watching me a while, you know what my pin diagram has to do with the masculine and feminine, and how the feminine takes in the sun and collects in the 2 rings at the bottom of the pin. One is the feminine going into the masculine. The back of the pin and the housing is the masculine energy, which then seals the deal, creating a vacuum. As the energy gets used up, the pin then falls open again for the feminine to start collecting from the sun again. The 7 of the Chariot, the vehicle of shifting universes, and the gamma rays of a spectrum of colors. The 14 of the falling light as a feather, in patient, balanced, and in a higher love. So it's again this energy of falling within. 11:23 of justice and the King of Wands, and the underlying energy of the lovers in the 18, and the Fool number 12, the World 36, of 2 paths of romance, and wisdom of the Hanging Man and the Fool, with the courage to embrace changes and take risk and be adventurous, or Atlas and the World, being open to new possibilities in all areas of your life. Hanging out, wise with open heart, in a leap of faith of all that is, or working really hard on your passion, perhaps from an off-planet perspective, or community versus worldwide perspective. There are no wrong answers or questions here, perhaps standing in the middle, doing or not doing, or both, within and without, the ultimate balancing act. At 11:28 of justice and alignment and the twin flames, or choice of path, where the first card here is the Star and 29, being present to dreams and gifts as hard times are over, and a 27, proposal of passion and linked rings. As the 3 of Wands and Ace of Wands, and you know the space between, the 2 of Wands, of course, silly, time for 2 between the passion and the gifts and dreams coming true. The 30 of the home and union and the sun, union fully energized and exposed, fully yellow of the sunflower, and a home in the sun. With cards 3, 1, and 4 here, which is the 3, 1, 4 of pie, but the 4 of Wands and the flames of the home, the pie and the sharing of the line down the middle of the circle, the twin towers of the pie symbol, and the apple pie, and starring in a balanced way, or sharing and starring in a balanced way, but not equal, as in exactly the same, but perfectly complementary in sameness and differences. So the 35, as the wounded warrior's heart's desire, is ready to come true. In two hearts as one, beware, due to abundance or the Empress or Mother Nature, be careful who you trust at this time, as there may be shapeshifters in your presence. Always trusting yourself is key, or vulnerable older mother, or pregnant one, apt to lose themselves in the moment. And be careful what you wish for. Make sure your intentions are aligned with your true values, things that make you happy each day, now in the moment, not down the road, or what comes if down the road. 15 is the key, is the shadow, and shedding some light. I was getting shedding skin as well, at 1141 of Justice and the Ace of Cups. The locked door and the unlocked door is the only difference here. To allow the turnkey. Allow the past to fall away, as the 25 Knight of Wands is the phoenix rising and renews after a period of crisis into a whole new world. That key to your heart, and all it takes is one little spark, and the feather falls and the phoenix rises, and there must be the wintry softening, like a slushy after the hard cold, to warm up to the sudden rising out of nowhere. So it would seem, anyway, at 1144 of Justice and the Grounding, Integrating, and Mastering of How to Receive Love, the unlocking of dark shadows and vampires, and the bright bird who just sought their freedom, bursting forth into the light, burning away all that was, weighing them down, as the feather was a little tickle in the back of your throat to get you to cough it up, but rather the tickling of your lover's fingertips to incite a riot as a distraction, so the phoenix could blast off when no one was looking at 1148, which is Justice and Walking Away and Within. So then at the 49 of the Nine of Cups and Getting Your Wish, the underlying energy of the 33 of the Martyr and the 35 of the Wounded Warrior Victim, now present with gifts and the now moment, and the Ace of Swords, Excalibur, or the X's Cali-Burr, and seeing the loving natural woman in her true light, or loving nature woman in her true light, and allowing the daughter to shine. Two wounded warriors, one butterfly on the path of transformation, young, wild, and free, and the other cutting things that would tie them down, one anchoring in as the others cutting the anchor and any ties to stress or worry, fears, and being free as a bird, like the seagull or Sophia's eagle, the mother and her gift, her present and their lover, their family. As the first card next is the 33 and 24, along with the 8 of Pentacles and the Page of Cups, as the martyr and or victim cuts their chains or opens their cage, the key was there all along, that there's no place like home. As the Queen of Wands and the Page of Cups, swans, link, as the wounded warrior stands up tall before its watery dive into the bottom of it all, to the whale's song and a heart that sets you free, allowing yourself, your heart, to be happy and soft and linked with another, face to face, two swans as one. As the 6 of the, I don't know, I'm getting some Asian name. I don't know if it's just Wan or something about Zawan. I don't know if Zwana or something like that was coming up right there. But the 6 of the Lovers, I'm getting the one. Two swans as one, and someone's chiming in the background saying that you're the one. The 6 of the Sun breaking through the clouds, the lover's story of the phoenix sun's rising each day at dawn, the delta dawn, the change, the triangle of a new day, of 50 plus first dates, in meeting her at dusk and changing shape. A little lusty romance, perhaps, as she reflects his light back upon him in the dance of the stars and the planets and their little offshoots, rays, moons, and kids, as source direct planets or play nets to express all that is in Father's channel and Mother's ocean station, in Shakespeare's tale or story of the Wobble and the Bobble, of the spear and the sphere, his strike and her fright, his inspiration and her growth, in a super double diamond nova event known as JC, or the letters JC, which are the torus 0 point with longitudinal direction. JC superstar. And do you think you're what they say you are? JC superstar, I looked it up. It was in Philadelphia at the Viviana Theater, 2023. It was posted 8 hours before I saw it, in Swarthmore, PA, 129 Park Avenue, 19081, which is the 19 of the sun, the 81 of the end of karma around the world, from July 7th to the 16th, 23, and also at the State Theater in New Brunswick, New Jersey, from June 9th to the 11th at 12:21. And it's so funny, too. When I was in junior high school, I sent a fan letter to Jesus in Godspell, and he sent me his, like, a high school picture back. It was so cute. It was Buddy Rudolph, and, such an interesting name, too. But that's coming up now as well. So at 12:27 is the Hanging Man and the Ace of Wands, the super new, inspired and rising, his story and her tale as Orion faces their dragon, his fiery breath, and her Pleiadian number 24, the Omega, the Om and the Ega of the feminine ego, take the tale of the 7 sisters, which are actually the 9, who whip around just in time, out of time and space, in a 5D direction of the twins tap dancing on Orion's shoulders, the weight of the world, to get him to see that the dragon he sees is actually Andromeda and Pegasus, who share a star hand in hand. Of Andromeda, and An is 1, Androme, and ED 1. So Andromeda is coming up as New Caledonia came up, and again, there's another Cali. So Caliber was coming up, Excalibur, and then Caledonia, a French territory in Oceania, was Scottish, 1698 to 1700, and then British, 1858. But again, it's a French territory right now. So one blood, and then MED can be medicine or any other MED word, but it's coming up as one blood, and then Mr. Ed, which is ED of Mr. Ed. I always talk about being God, but also extra dimensional. One blood, or human, and one Mr. Ed. And Pegasus, or P and gaseous, as Jesus's drum without a B, as me da, and Mr. Ed 1. Infinite bridegroom, and space and room also came up here, and bridegroom is bride, G, and room, right? So the bride's room with God, the space and room. Mr. Ed and the star they share, Alpha Andromeda, which is Alpheratz. Now Perseus is always said to have rescued Andromeda, and Perseus, who is Zeus's son, and Andromeda had 9 children, and they say there were 7 sons and 2 daughters, or 7-2. Notice the 72 and 72 reference. And from history cooperative.org, Perseus beheaded Medusa, who was the mortal Gorgon they had to get rid of, where Poseidon and Medusa are considered his Pegasus's parents. Poseidon's inspiration for Pegasus were actually, by some, seen as the waves that looked like horses' manes, and his cutting off of her head birthed Pegasus, or in other words, the blood of Medusa and the sea of Poseidon, of Pegasus, and then Athena, and I had a whole other thing on Athena last week, being aligned with actually being Hercules as her masculine self that she wanted to express. Pegasus and Athena being Zeus's daughter as well, Pegasus and Athena were allowed to live on Mount Olympus with the others, and there's this reference to their being part human, as Atlas and Hercules. She tamed Pegasus with a golden bridle. Notice the bride is there. As Pegasus may have saved Andromeda, or excuse me, Perseus may have saved Andromeda, but Pegasus and she, an underlying star twin flame connection, and Athena towed him for her, the bridal, her harvest for her brother's betrothed, but true love to only one, because like Hercules, Pegasus was part mortal, Athena's masculine persona. And again, it's, my message about Athena last week was about how that was a mask that she took on just so that she could be a man, right? The virginal Athena, warrior. So she could be Hercules because she was as strong as any man. And Zeus allowed her to do this because, she was his favorite, of course. Allowed her to take on this masculine persona, pretending like he had another son. So Cassiopeia, we'll call Andromeda Andy, Cassiopeia, Andy's mother, of course, and Cepheus, her father, and Perseus was spoken of as quote-unquote flying home. But no, Perseus wasn't the one with wings. Pegasus was, with his trophy head passing by Cassius's kingdom, fell in love with Andy and then freed her to marry him. Sounds like Perseus became Pegasus from the blood of Medusa, and giving their child Perseus to Cepheus as an heir to his throne. So Cepheus could be the son of Phoenix, as one of the names of the mothers. So Phoenix and the Phoenix rising and all. So Andy has bird wings in his genes. His kingdom of Ethiopia, later Joppa or Jaffa and Phoenicia, after the elder Cepheus's wife, and Lope, daughter of Aeolus. And again, Cepheus was both the name of the grandfather's who was a ruler, and the grandson ruler. And Andromeda reflects the drama of her father and his wife Cassiopeia, who was causing all these problems with the Phoenix rising. So both Andy and Peg has winged DNA and can fly and mixed with Zeus's Perseus and Athena, Peg's bridal. And so Andy is she and Peg is he, Phoenician is her tale, and Phoenix his story, as he at the head and she at the Pleiadian tail of 7 sons and 2 daughters. Or was it actually 9 Pleiadian children, 7 sisters and 2 brothers? So at 114 of the Magician and the Masculine, and the 14 of the Temperance card, are that higher love and patience and balance. The 3 of the married couple of the Queen of Wands and Page of Cups, with the Phoenix Sun and the Phoenician tail, the 26 of the Page of Wands and the Empress that they became, she of abundance and the Page of Wands, inspired by the 10 of Pentacles, family, business, or community, or heaven on abundant earth. The 44 and 11 with 777, where the 44 is Hercules' and her looking glass, an exclamation point, and 11. The alignment with sudden wealth of 777 and hitting the jackpot 21, with a full house and her harvest and his alignment, or one or arc of intent, the spark of inspiration and full deck, the 28 of she expecting and the twin flames, and the 17 of the Queen of Cups nesting the dream, with justice of dreams fulfilled and sunshine to boot, the 31 of the Ace of Pentacles, and the group offering their time, money, and effort in 20 cards, or in a wake-up call to a lot of cards to unravel. So the Page of Cups romantic pup, the wounded warrior fox loving lady with Excalibur, or the Page of Cups and the Queen of Wands, and or the Queen of Swords, resting in the 5D connection and celebrating in a small gathering. hanging out, wise, privileged lady or lady of privilege, in a mature, peaceful spiritual union with the King of Swords, destined Libra Capricorn lover, or after a journey, the train coming into the station with shadow lover. At the house of judgment, in a wake-up call with the gate, and hermiting with car out front, perhaps to places, or condo in the city, or fell in love with a new house and just had to buy it, with change of residence and lots of different paths coming together at the center, with the 43 of the Two of Cups coming together with direction, all coming from different places through the labyrinth, the energetic exchange with abundant fish, or Piscean King of Cups boy who feels impoverished and missing home and its stability, as the Page of Pentacles is destined to decipher and court on the King of Cups' journey of despair, or the pair, the Fool's leap to the Queen of Pentacles, here at 128, which is the masculine or magician, or perhaps a leap to the 28 of the choice of path, or the twin flame. So at 131, the underlying energy of the graceful gazelle and the beaver, the oyster and the starfish, and the Georgia boy path, or a star is born. After pulling the sword, the King of Swords comes together in joy without telling those in lack, perhaps cutting ties at work, or only inviting certain people, as the Knight of Swords reversed is turned away for lying or lashing out, for not being in their integrity, or ignored by those fully energized and having fun, or kids and pets and Leo on vacation, as her grace was extended around the world, pulling up anchor and taking flight away from turbulent emotions. And then SpongeBob and Patrick especially was coming up here, that shape of Patrick, kind of like a fat finger, you know, and persuading. And then Swayze came up, and Michael J. Fox, who turned down Ghost, diagnosed with Parkinson's 1991, which is the year my son was born, and a secret and of course his Parkinson's was kept secret for a while, as Patrick saved the movie, since all the lead males were turning the part down. So from MSN.com and Today, not understanding it or didn't want to play, a lot of these male actors didn't want to play a dead person because it would affect their energy adversely. And the first card out here was the crocodile stalking the star, or badgering the Page of Wands reversed until they say yes, or arrogant child star here, or saving his vitality to find his true worth and self-love. So again, Michael J. Fox going through this transformation of self-love and worth. As Fox and the Emperor reversed, losing control, and literally he lost control, and healing, forgiving, and apologizing, whether it's others or God or himself, retiring in the reptilian energy, taking advantage of him, perhaps some loyalty on Fox's behalf to the wrong people there, who may have influenced his energy. So at 150, the masculine and the 50 of the happy family still is a Michael J. Fox movie. It's called, I think, still a Michael J. Fox movie, as 2023 Best Film, a Best Film. And there's talk about his morphing marriage and Tracy Pollan, and his son Sam, I am. The Crow stands guard after taking a load off, with the Page of Swords reversed, the King of Cups reversed, the Empress reversed, or perhaps new puppy news. As I think that Tracy Pollan was talking about their new child, which was a puppy. So, dear one, the Queen of Swords presents the Knight of Pentacles tiger, a dream come true, a little one or pet perhaps, or together the Queen of Swords and the Knight of Pentacles are seeing their dreams come true. The camel's independent but blue, in need of peace, and faith are rough waters, after taking a fall or hard hit. The whale and the firefly, or fleeting inspiration, as the King of Wands is upright, coming clean about his life, his past, and his hiding. Their special energy or powers. The bliss of knowing, of peace of mind and balanced mind. The Page of Pentacles reversed, needing to use their intuition to understand the disconnect or distance between them. And the Magician reversed and the King of Pentacles reversed, insecure and manipulative, without tools and ungrounded, or all about the money or stability, and out of options here. So the Knight of Cups offers love to sad Queen of Cups reversed, as a divorce may be finalized or finding spiritual justice here. At 206 with the High Priestess or Divine Feminine and the Lovers with space between, or family. Perhaps going insane or an illness or coming out suddenly, as my pen ran out right there. Blowing their crown, their top or their stack, or blowing their mind, epiphanizing, and withholding or saving for a new life, needing the courage to fight for the impossible dream, or deal with conflict of deception and inequity, or being taken for a ride, inequity, or not sharing or scammed with the Seven of Pentacles who left, and that's all I need, until another comes along. And then there's a reference to the blower's daughter, which is from Closer. Issues at work with offers of love and messages, children or puppy love, and the Queen of Pentacles trapped or anxious about getting over the loss and being patient and angelic in a higher love with the 5D connection, on break or laying it to rest, making peace with it. And the underlying energy of the Chariot boldly moving through unstable home or move or dependence, with no love or in a breakup or slowdown, and things not going your way or their way in a twist of fate. And a wake-up call to overwork and or what's not working due to the past, the childhood, or falling out and or difficult kids, or the past returning to flush it out. Perhaps here the Queen of Wands reversed returns, I'm getting now, with a vengeance, or to visit with the Nine of Pentacles reversed, dependent, with no love loss, and a wake-up call, perhaps for her. At 215, which is a Philadelphia area code as well, the 2 is the Divine Feminine or High Priestess, and the 15 of the Shadow or the Devil. The underlying energy of Justice, the 2 of Wands, the King of Wands, and the Knight of Swords, as the King of Wands is seeing what his choices are, with the Judge, or as sister charges, or unethical practices here, with the King of Pentacles Capricorn, or tempted by the Empress, with Taurus abundance and Hermit advising, or Pisces, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo here, or Mother and Old Man, with the falling out in the past, as the Knight of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups, both upright, are offering help and love to the King of Cups and the Queen of Wands, or who may be ignoring them, as the King of Cups and the Queen of Wands are focused on an affectionate neighbor, or all out there, naked to the world and free, or Pisces, Gemini, and Aries. Trying to manifest, but out of control, perhaps the Emperor reversed out of control, or it got the best of them with no reply from the Page of Swords reversed, or the Wounded Warrior reversed, on guard and defensive, with the Page of Pentacles reversed and the Nine of Pentacles reversed, perhaps their siblings, with the Page of Wands reversed, or 2 siblings and best friends, or Aries, and or Aries with an Aries, perhaps we're going to hit the road, but then got they ended up being short, or the plan died, right? There's all this inspiration and then it just didn't work out, or a car accident, or kids catching a ride with Dark Knight or Scorpio, who won't take any crap from those who come against them, but may be clingy and or weak here. Facing the Knight of Wands reversed and the King of Swords upright, in the clash of the Titans with the Page of Wands reversed versus the Knight of Wands reversed, which could be 2 out of control fire signs or siblings, or Cancer upright and Scorpio reversed versus Saggy air, or with counsel, or the Page of Wands reversed traveling to see the Knight of Wands reversed and or the King of Swords upright, perhaps a sister, or suffering in silence, or stressed out, not sleeping, or crying perhaps, getting it all out of their system before being happy with themselves, and the Page of Cups, and the Queen of Cups who's reversed, or mother and child, and that could be right after giving birth, and the Queen of Swords upright, not seeing face to face or eye to eye with the Queen of Pentacles upright, or the Queen of Swords talking about the breakup of the Queen of Pentacles, but it's also who is well grounded here though. So that was number 1. And then now we have the read on the table, which I'll bring to you now. And I'm getting really sweaty now. It's very hot. There's For me, that's a lot of masculine energy coming in. So here we have the read on the table for the twin flames. And again, it's not my 7-deck read, it's abbreviated. We have the SIRIAN Starseed deck is the main deck on the table, and you see a bunch of extra cards I pulled at the end. And then the Rider-Waite Mini for clarifiers, and the Fortune deck, where I usually have the Romance Angels. I just used the Fortune deck today instead, or that day. So this was done on the 21st. I cut the SIRIAN Starseed deck at 3:43. The Empress and the Three of Cups have come together in joy. And I finished clarifying at 3:57, which is the Three of Swords. There's a lot of threes there, right? 3, 3, and then Three of Cups and Three of Swords. So there may be third-party interference or third-party situations going on within this read. The transition card was the only major card in the read as far as major arcana. Before the read was Ascension of the World and Karma. Transition is the Death card. Karma is the Judgment card. And then after the read was Indigo, which is the Magician card, and the Lovers card. 3 Pentacles, 2 Swords, 2 Wands, and 2 Cups, as we had 3223, reflecting itself the journey of the King of Wands this year, 2023, with the Page of Swords, the Knight of Wands, the Page of Pentacles, and the Queen of Wands. Before the read was the Knight of Pentacles, and after the read, the Knight of Cups. We had 4 3s in this read and 2 8s. Okay, very significant, right? Because 3 times 4 is the 12 of the 4th quarter, and the 2 8s are the twins dancing side by side, both already balanced within their own masculine and feminine, ready to come into union. So we also have here the 34 of the energetic exchange of the 8 of Wands, the Arrows of Love, the 1 of the Magician, the 7, 8 of the 10 of Pentacles, which is the end of the deck. So we have the first card of the deck and the end of the deck. And then also the 46 of the Loving Children, the 6 of Cups, the 67 of the Loyal Humble Servant, the Knight of Pentacles, and the 38 of the Queen of Cups. Really beautiful energy there. So the code line here was all about the 35 of the Wounded Warrior, the 26 of the Hostilities of the Page of Wands reversed, and the 18 of the Anxious Child. And the code line was all about the number 79 from 8 and 71, but also 8 and 1 equals 9 also came up. So the 9 and 79 for me is the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. So after death, tithing taught, perhaps an adept life or knight's life essence as the sap rises up, offering a new life in union of sage or queen, seeing the key or seeking equality, or perhaps paying for a clearing. Advertising source to the nth degree, the top dog, infinite, and the after-death test of resurrection, the sap rising in the groundbreaking plant, the diamond in the rough, or the wise student, or Sagittarius seeing the key. The reason for the wounded warrior, the hostile child, and anxiety, or Saggy, Aries, and Cancer, or the wounded warrior hostile and anxious. So after death, termination or ending, and also ADT, protection services, may be coming up, but that's also short for adult, and it's the Oklahoma airport as well. But an after-death termination or ending of a time period or occasion, a tense moment, taught a time out. To be strong, to dance, to manifest dreams, to find courage and strength to go on. And from cha.bad.org was coming up the 8 nights of Hanukkah, which is also celebrated for a new home, and the lighting of the fire in the heart, the home, to rededicate the temple each night to a new aspect of oneself. So night 1 is the dedication to the darkness, or the cellar, the winter time, the inner darkness and the unknown, of every question or confusion and challenge mastered to the thrill of secrecy, illuminates a deeper insight. Number 2 was the ascension in the stairway, the steps in an upward direction and new kindness. Each one's spark springs forth to a second wick, ready to rise and explore, as the third day or the third night is decisions and the hallway, with an array of doors, the choices, and the tension before any great act, rising out of the mundane and direction, making decisions in the dark, and the leap of faith that leads to miracles. From the Greek domination of the Maccabees, chose no less than the doorway to the vastest freedom, the door of self-dominion and independence, as I'm losing my voice, and the fearlessness of the fight. As the doorways are blinding, I contemplate the path to my future and light 3 candles as my guide. The 4th night is the senses and the dining room and the sister kitchen, a stately silvered feast, the guest, the host, and the caterer called to task to eat. Is your spirit nourished as your body feeds? With olive oil at the center, or the shaman, the sensual or sublime and material meet and dine together, either in harmony or disarray. The anointing oil of the kings, the Mar kings, or the sea of kings, the emotions of the Messiah, the symbol of Hanukkah, the dripping robe of temptation itself, the nourishment for the candle upon which the holy flame feeds, the utmost sublime, but also the basest of the mundane. It is the quote-unquote fat, or the shuman, that all is thick and physical, the mass where the spirit resides. The delicate balances, which are fuel for the fire of life, that nourishes, but also you can overpour, and then that will put out the light. So at 4:46, we get to number 5, which is the Emperor and the 6 of Cups of the 2 children. And the defiance of the 5th night, the outer courtyard and the inner will, where the strength is tested. Right? Are you going to deny your ID, who you are, or are you going to face death? Being unafraid to sacrifice, to not give yourself away or lie in order to conform, knowing who you are, grounded in calm and courage, regardless of the chaos in the world. Courageously defying and not complying. And the 6th night is the rebirth, the bedroom, recalling fond, colorful times, satisfied in making peace with your death, finding yourself rebirthed instead, forever falling and redefining, losing and refinding, a new beginning born and with every end. A soft cocoon, womb, tomb, and room of rejuvenation, the 4 walls of rebirthing, the drive to end and yet begin again. The 6 flames lift from the ash like the phoenix, reviving her circular stride, and though history is a looping spiral, redemption lies at the end of a line, or arc, or leap. And there's that reference of leaping to another dimension. So the 7th night, the crows started yelling outside at 4, 5, 6, pick up sticks. Number 7 is the advertising of the miracle, the light in the window to the world, and windows on the world was coming up with that. The strength and purpose within celebrated in the sights of others. How do you see yourself through others' eyes? And what miracle do you advertise? May my eyes behold the miracles shining forth from each passing soul as I gaze into their windows. May my own miracle be held as I behold. The 8th night is then transcendence, the rooftop, looking in the sky. By the 8th star that you see in the night sky, you now see all, the infinity of space, and reminded of the infinity of your soul. The 8 lights, the grand finale, is the 8 leap beyond the linear of physicality to transcendence, or miracles plus number 8, the holiness of every day, and God's, not spelled out, promise of miraculous daily presence in our lives. So this then came out because AD was coming out in the code line, and usually AD for me is after death, but it can be advertising as well. But it was very much about advertising the miracle today, the tithing source. In 8 nights, 7 up, offering of new life, to see yourself clearly, wisely, seeking E, or 1 equal and congruent to, one who can show you the key to yourself at 6:12, the lovers and the hanging man. The window to your soul through those in your presence, and the after-death mass, time out for 8, after death ESP of the 7 up, when the soul's essence rises in a groundbreaking union as the student of the wounded, the hostile, and the anxious. So back to the cards and everything at 617 with the lovers and the star, we start out with the transition here, or the death card here, and the underlying energy, the big card underneath the little ones. And beneath that is the Ascension card reversed, the Knight of Pentacles reversed, Karma reversed, the Three of Wands upright, and the Three of Pentacles upright. The King of Pentacles was beneath that as well. So the King of Pentacles, with his world upside down, or seeking completion to the cycle, seeking to come full circle, but stuck or blocked by pride, stubborn resistance, or Pisces reversed and Aquarius reversed, refused to move, work, get up, and the need to swallow pride and heed the call to be present at the workplace or school, or to co-create using gifts at death, an ending dark night, or in transition, through the portal, needing strength and courage to manifest big time, with the King of Pentacles awake at night, or perhaps does his best work at night, when all the world's asleep, the questions run so deep for such a simple man. So detoxing the dark night, or death and end, of the Ten of Cups reversed family, or King of Pentacles with Capricorn in their chart, the dark night of an emotional cycle now ending with the Queen of Pentacles reversed, or sitting Shiva, or family grieving, or a transition of the Queen of Pentacles reversed, and detoxing the Ten of Cups reversed family with the Grim Reaper, or the Taxman, or one who could care less about your emotions. Starlight, star bright, first star I see tonight. After upheaval, the hard times are over at 6:30 of the Lovers' Union. Destined to be presented with gifts, perhaps the Queen of Pentacles reversed was laid off or fired, or new star and resting. Pisces and Aquarius and Capricorn reversed here, with Scorpio, Gemini, Virgo, and Cancer upright. Libra reversed too. Perhaps an end to the King of Pentacles upright, Gemini or Virgo, and the Queen of Pentacles reversed could be someone with Capricorn in their chart, or Scorpio, or star who was fired, or someone on hospice and passed. As the King of Pentacles is upright with the Knight of Pentacles reversed, with negative karma, or lazy and just sitting around waiting for their ship to come in at the workplace or school. And the recent past is the Knight of Wands upright with a slow burn, keeping to themselves about the Page of Pentacles reversed, or needing help with a secret passion or silent partner who's not silent and opportunistic, as a matter of fact. But the Page of Pentacles reversed could just be a child needing help with their homework, but is with the Page of Swords here upright, with secrets out at work about a disconnect or a breakup, with Sagittarius upright and Pisces or Virgo reversed, an air sign or message ready to step up and swing, as the foundation here is the Page of Swords upright, seeking the light, and the Page of Wands and Queen of Swords upright, with the King of Swords reversed and a negative response. She may be passionate about something that he is not, and the Queen of Cups is sending love to an unstable home of the Nine of Pentacles reversed, or dependent, who's held over the Queen of Swords' head, with Gemini, King of Swords reversed, lying or verbally abusive and without emotion or feeling here. The central energy of the Seven of Pentacles, Divine Feminine, reaping rewards of their heart in the E-Tower, after offering time, money, and energy to the Queen of Wands reversed, with things not going their way, or at a twist of fate, stuck or disabled, unable to function. As the Knight of Wands is upright and the Page of Swords too, transitioning around the Divine Feminine's place, challenged by the Ace of Pentacles upright, and the Diamond in the Rough, or stone-breaking plant. After the Fool is reversed, or fell from grace or on their face, or low energy and drained, or kids being foolish and all over the place, receiving new passion or offer of one, creativity or growth now that the worst is over, of depression and conflict and working to get their ducks in a row, for Hierophant or marriage with the Knight of Wands rushing in, or expecting to come to Taurus upright, with Aries, Leo, Aquarius reversed, and Saggy upright. Now crowning is the Page of Pentacles reversed, perhaps not a good student, as the Empress reversed in a split or divided. That can also be issues with a pregnancy or delivery. And in need of peace here, present to bad influences and or third party, or being antisocial with the Knight of Swords upright deliveries, and the Hermit leaving the light on with the weight of the world, perhaps about a falling out in the past. And so the Queen of Wands is reversed soon, traveling after a sudden event or constant drama or resistance to change. The Page of Cups, little chariot, caught in traffic or constant obstacles or obstacle course, but they're upright. And the Queen of Wands reversed is a bull in a china shop, dumping multiple loads and emotional attachments, or perhaps that can come up as emotional attachments can come up as Ia, as well as Elizabeth April can come up there. But again, the Queen of Wands is the bull in the china shop, dumping multiple loads and or emotional attachments, triggered, overwhelmed, or pushed to their emotional limit, perhaps at a yard sale, and doesn't want them to sell any of their stuff. Or another is giving their stuff away for free or too cheaply, and they get pissed off at 709 of the Chariot and the Hermit with space between, which can also be Cancer and Virgo. So the twin flames seeing themselves as the Eight of Cups reversed, and the 28 and being uncomfortable, leading the way with good news to those who are just getting over a loss, or patience, or being patient. Angelic and energetic exchange, letting the less fortunate back in to recover. Or the King of Cups reverse returns to stand up to the crowd and or the family and get justice, or defending themselves in a divorce. As Saggy and Libra both upright here, or regarding a home, celebration, or union, or vacation, of unity and energetic exchange, or a lot of back and forth, aligning and balancing, or spending time in gardening, or being generous, perhaps uncomfortable receiving good news that could be bad news for another. And around the twins are how they're seen as the Three of Cups reversed. Given a choice of separation or disappointment or heartache as the wounded warrior surrenders or gives up. Dissatisfied with the Empress released or releasing them, or the Emperor upright feels bad about it, but they have to go, as the Queen of Wands reversed, or bad influence given an ultimatum at 720, the 7 of the Chariot and 20 of the wake-up call. So the block here is the Four of Cups upright, of defending their island or position, of dropping the ball or the facade and not walking away when they should. The Three of Swords is upright with the Page of Pentacles reversed, with disappointment or lost in a storm, needing practical help. As the Knight of Wands and the Page of Swords upright, reaping rewards, but the Page of Pentacles and Queen of Wands are both reversed with disappointment or heartbroken. And the Knight of Cups is upright, and the Six of Wands journeyman is bringing good news at 9:14, working to align with peace of mind or balance, knowing all is well, as Indigo is proposing to their ex, or proposing no sex until married, or ingesting information to find balance first before proposing to love and marriage to get guidance, counseling. Atlas leaving wounded warrior behind for the Ten of Pentacles, family, business, or community of wealth and abundance, alchemizing but unable to surrender to all that is, with the Queen of Cups preparing for birth or needing strength and courage to move, travel, or ascend, with the Six of Cups reversed in a negative past, or falling out in a divorce, or with justice, with the Emperor upright tossing in the towel, or AI, false hand, or for new passion to heal. Someone has now new passion for healing themselves. With Gemini, which could be upright and reversed, Taurus upright, Saggy upright, Leo and Fire reversed, Cancer upright, Libra upright, and Aries upright here. Depressed Aquarius may be offering creativity or passion and growth to the Emperor or the Empress and the Emperor, who may be then tossing it out or rejecting it, or burning artificial limbs, or X is coming back, suggesting guidance counseling this time. X, Taurus, or guide doing all the work for the Ten of Pentacles, family, business, or community, or patience, and dropped the ball, and or facade, with the Queen of Cups with fire in their chart, or about their pet or birth, in a bold move, traveling or ascending fast, to little ones fighting or children of divorce, with the Emperor upright, with X who tried to come back or offer sex to heal or make their dreams come true at 9:31. The underlying energy of the Divine Feminine's journey through the shadow to appreciate a family vacation perhaps, as Anxious 18, hostile Page of Wands, or 26, and the wounded warrior, or 35, getting to the root of family problems, on the Fool's journey to balance and 5D station, in Gemini now, and the workplace transition for Star, as the King of Pentacles is not ascending with the Knight of Pentacles reversed, karmic, waiting for their ship to come in. At the workplace transition of layoffs and firing, as the Page of Swords is upright with a message of discomfort, and the Three of Cups reversed with no reunion, and the Knight of Wands inspired to daydream, perhaps with the Divine Feminine's heart in the E-Tower at 9:38, the Hermit and the Queen of Cups. The challenge is the offer of a new life, or offering time and effort to the Queen of Wands reversed, who's stranded perhaps and in need of help in separation from the Knight of Cups, bringing good news about working to find mental balance, perhaps comfortably numb, as the Indigo proposes to lover or Gemini, guidance or marriage, dumping the Ten of Wands, Atlas energy, or the weight of the world, for the Ten of Pentacles, family, business, or community, and a higher love, or leaving a heavy patient load for higher love and dropping the daily grind for the Queen of Cups, needing strength or well care to make it through a negative past, a falling out or difficult kids, and justice here of the Emperor, or the reason that their depressed or arrogant star offered the Ace of Wands to him, the Emperor that is, in a work transition of the Knight of Wands upright, with the Page of Swords message to the E-Tower, and the Page of Pentacles reversed needing help, but challenged by a new life, and uncomfortable with the emotions, with the Queen of Wands reversed not coming together, and leaving the Emperor alone with disappointment and or separation, or with heart issues, as the Knight of Cups and the Six of Wands lead the way to help at the E-Tower with peace of mind and keeping to themselves, with indigo magic, or proposing without lover's ex or Gemini's guidance, or again their 2 cents being put in at 9:49, the Hermit and the Nine of Cups. And I fell asleep on the couch after that. So then we go back to here, we have nature. Here's the read here. We have Nature's Whispers at the top, then Metatron deck, and then the Shaman deck, and then the Journey of Love deck, and then my half deck of Rider-Waite. I'm going to pull that up a little bit so you can see the cards better. Okay, so this was done on the 22nd, or yesterday, and from 8:30 to 9:03 in the morning. So Nature's Whispers was at 30, which is the Four of Wands. Metatron was right at the 00, 9 o'clock. A lot of source support there. The Shaman deck, 01, the masculine, Journey of Love, the feminine, and the 3 of the half deck at the end. So the cards at the end of the decks came out to 12114 and 12317. So I looked up in Gematria some of the smaller numbers. 121 was Mark, Maria, App, Chiefs, Sam, Plan, Mona, and Amon. 123 was Abraham, Hope, Cool, God Code, Angelina, Nicola, Fibonacci, and Angelo. 114 was Hate, Ladder, Mark, LSD, Heat, Abram, Lennon, Clark, and Madeline. 317 was Robert, Aphrodite, Scapegoat, Keep the Faith, Bridegroom again, Gross, Demolition, Antares, and Bloodline of God. So the Hanging Man aligns with the Emperor and the Lambda Leap, Lamb to Father, and hangs with the Empress's star. As the leap or the arc to the world of angels, patience and balance, the 1-2-3 jump to dreams coming true. Divine Feminine and Masculine align with the Ace of Cups Holy Grail, the King of Wands Divine Masculine, and the Chariot as chariots of fire, with 2 wise ones, just the Emperor and the Empress star. And then again at 9:18 is when I started doing this read, again my birthday. Again, the feminine aligning with herself. The underlying energy of the 3 of celebrating differences, the 41 as above so below, the 12 of the Dragon's Hoard, and the 54 of the Page of Swords, the Devil. The Empress or Mother Nature's abundance of variety, unicorns and dolphins, of land and sea, and meeting at the beach, and the beech tree was coming up. So I ended up going into treespiritwisdom.com, where the beech tree is about your truth, your true power of peace and integrity, to speak your truth and use your power wisely. The beech literally means book or letter, and this family of trees share nuts and wood and wisdom with all who live among them. The mother beech and the father oak, as the trio, TREO, equals truth and tree. And carvings on wood equal the truth then rooted, right, by different natives and their belief systems. So beech can overpower even the mightiest of oaks. The Sylvatica type of tree, the family here, is most cultivated and can reach 160 feet tall. The silvery bark and expansive canopies for light to shine through tinted green. Cathedrals were inspired by this, the peace and awe of this, and it reminds me of the card of the crucifixion with the light shining through the trees. They lived 200 to 400 years, with triangular nuts supportive of brain and heart function, to use your mind for knowledge while listening to your heart for wisdom. In 1817, Thomas Jefferson said or wrote that knowledge is power, knowledge is safety, knowledge is happiness. What we learn and experience translates into wisdom, and true power brings peace. Use your power with love in our hearts. The challenge with power is material success and status and egocentric thinking. Power going to the head. And by the way, the sukkah came up here. The moon and sorrow and pain. The energy of purity and spirit and immortality, the sacred protection. So the definitions of willow came up too, because then the willow tree came up, and then later on the chestnut tree will come up as well. So we had 4 trees come up here, which is very significant for the trees. But the willow means near the water in Celtic. It's good for anti-inflammatories and rheumatism, fever, and to make baskets. The illusion here with willow is the subconscious fears and dreams to reclaim our wisdom, to flourish on the edge. And again, it's considered sacred protection of water's mystical gatekeepers of the moon, sun, and life itself. The pink of compassion here in this card for self and others through other. And then again, the sukkah came up as one of the energies under the willow tree, and its sacredness. At 9:33, the hermit and the Christ vibration, or the martyrdom. So the Empress, the Holy Grail, and beech and weeping willow, the mother and the daughter here. And when I was pregnant with my daughter, I was taking a ceramics class, and I'd made all of these little plaques for my nieces and nephews that represented their energy. And I never got to do Jenna's, but I'd drawn it, I just hadn't made it, and it was called Jenna's Jaunt, and that was coming up here, and it was very much about her energy being all curled up in her room where she loves to be, you know, with butterflies and balloons and all sorts of girly energies. That energy was coming up here with the mother and daughter. The dragon's horde of curling up, protecting the womb and the future, being wise and still. As the Page of Swords Earth Angel prepares and makes the beds, a message to all that someone's coming as the devil waves, and temptation lurks, the fear of being chained again to another with their quirks, and the Earth Angel and the inner Earth Devil of roots and connections, whispering out of your view, the hum you hear but don't see, the unknown, the X factor, that needs the dark peace and quiet underneath the earth to work its magic. The beech mother, the willow daughter, of be and will. The chain and the chestnut, which also means, this is definitions coming up, which also horsepower comes up there. Chapter and channel, and EA, so Ea also coming up again, which references the Anunnaki. And the ow, OW, of hurt and younger brother, which came up twice in definitions, as OW and EE, I think both had a definition of younger brother. And WI came up with the woman, female wife, and another definition also came up with that today. There's a lot of doubling over here. Yeah, gel, JEL is woman and wife as well. So the chestnut tree then came up from the definition, which means provider. in its spiritual sense. The will, the want, the trick, the wheel, and the head. The chestnut is a substitute for potatoes. That you must care for self before others as the chestnut, offering stability and kindness during difficult times that nourish the mind, body, and soul. The challenge here for the chestnut tree is boredom and restlessness. So the beech, the oak, and the chestnut, all three are generous providers of life-sustaining gifts. The oak of a divine nature, of strength and integrity. So the bee of the bumblebee, horsepower, came up here. The wheels, so again, this is literally the translation here from the trees. The bee's horsepower from the beech. The wheels churning low and uninspired from the willow. With the oak, we have one house, to marry a woman, as younger brother, struck by love, but slow to purify and grow. And then the chestnut came up as the chi, path of the nut. To be the angel and not to be devil, or angel and devil, which vil means persistent, wish, will, cheap, worthless, city, like a vil, or v, cool, awful, low, base, vile, mean, and to fly. So there's always both negative and positive, but obviously that's mostly negative energies. And then gel is the opposite. It's more of that feminine energy of iced, girl, opal, yellow, in-between state, fall, frost, woman and wife, bright, clear, white, wanton and lustful, though also, and wicked, and to come, to pretend you didn't hear something. So the devil is of vilification, or cheapening or lowering oneself, and yet they fly. One gels, frost suspended between 2 points, balanced yet lustful. So the ego who flies and the lustful spirit is the angel and the devil. So obviously the ego who flies is the devil and the lustful spirit is the angel. One gels and one the villain. The mother and the Holy Grail, hoarding their find as messenger of temptations, restricted by responsibility, as so tempted otherwise, so remember to play. At 1037, the wheel and the King of Cups, which is unconditional love. The underlying here is the 17 of infinite blessings, the 49 of heightening your vitality, 39 of clear endeavor, and 34 of vulnerability, 36 of intuition, 25 to keep your dreams alive, 22 leap of faith, and the 3 of celebrating your differences in the underlying energy. Stardust DNA to get your wish, with the Knight of Cups, who clearly loves, in the energetic exchange or arrows of love, allowing the inner little girl to be vulnerable and coast, as the mind activates as your map of intent, to light a fire under your dreams with a kiss, with an open heart, taking a leap to abundance of joy and differences, and variety being the spice of life. As 31, as the mother reaches out to be spontaneous to the child, the tree to the flower, with magnetic attraction more powerful than any other, at the orange moon of high energy and chaos too, the harvest moon that buys farmers more time, or could be symbolic of the arrival of winter and emotional imbalance. So this year, the harvest moon is September 29th at 5:57 on the East Coast, a.m. And then next year it's September 17th at 10:34 p.m. And of course the end of August is that super blue moon of 8:30 to 31:23. So I was just reading about, the full moons here, and there's over 1,100 years between 1550 and 2650, where there's 21 years within that time of triple blue moons. There's not actually 3 moons in 1 month, but they consider it like 1 seasonal moon and then 2 blue moons in 1 month. So 1 seasonal and 2 monthly. And the next time this happens is 2143. The last time this happened was 1961, the year I was born. And I didn't realize this, but 2023 is the exact calendar year of 1961. And this is the first time Not only is it the same calendar year, but I also have this return of this blue moon by Marcel's. So the song Blue Moon came out by the Marcells in 1961 as well. 5/25/61, JFK announced we'd go to the moon by the end of the decade. And Jeff Bezos's Blue Origin wins the contract here to land NASA astronauts on the moon. So September 18, 2023, for me, is literally coming full circle because it has the same exact calendar as 1961 with the 3 blue moons. And this is, yeah, so I mean, it's a lot of years, right, between them. It's actually 61 years between them in the year 61, so that's very cool too. So at 11:11, and again, the twin flame energies in Gematria, the 32 and 50 came up with the journey of the 10 of Cups, which is the family, the ultimate in emotional fulfillment, to trust your own understanding and potential gateway, and the 6 of Wands journey to the 10 of Cups, of the Strait of Gibraltar to the magical tree gateway, and how my tree is connected there. Oh, that's interesting. So I'm talking about the tree in my yard. But also I drew you a technical drawing, a map of the Gibraltar Strait, where there was a tree, a family tree associated with the shelf right there, where the strait dumps into the Atlantic Ocean. And that came up again here. September orange chaotic energy is same as the day I was born. To journey to the avatar, the throne of Ava, the little chariot, the 7, to amplify your emotions. And Ava means grandmother. So again, the avatar of grandmother's throne, as the Empress becomes the little one, the grandma. But this is also the energy, there could be a July birth coming up as well. 11:21 is justice and the world, the underlying energy of the Queen of Cups, 38, and her light body activating the line between land and sea, which is the beach. And there's that beech tree coming up, right? Always, and the willow tree, which is right on the water. As I beseech thee, which is a line in Godspell, or strongly ask of, lighting up the ley lines of the Appalachian Mountains, and then Nepal came up here too. And I just went over the Appalachians as the split between Africa and Americas, where when they bumped into each other, the Appalachians actually left part of themselves on Africa. So the Appalachians are on 2 continents. And then Nepal came up, which is actually in India, but it was coming up as in the Atlantic, northeast Pal, the Atlantic shelf. And I wrote this down prior to what I just told you about the Atlantic shelf, which I didn't get at that point when I wrote it. But the Atlantic shelf off of the Strait of Gibraltar, and I was getting the straight and narrow, and what lies beneath. The Empress, which is the earth, Mother Nature, the Holy Grail, the inner earth, the core, the womb, which again I always call the womb of the earth, the daughter, the womb of the mother. The Queen of Cups, the Empress, and the Ace of Cups. The feminine lineage here of the grandmother, the mother, and the daughter. And then it was taking me into my feminine line, which is very hard to find information on, right? But especially because my grandfather was well known, but his wife was not. She was actually his second wife, because his first wife had an affair with the mayor of Sacramento. And then, he was very much a militant do-gooder, very serious man. And so he married again, but then I think he married someone who would do what he told and wouldn't leave him, that kind of energy. But she is my feminine line. On my mother's side. It was interesting too. I found something that I didn't know before. So Louis J. Myers, his wife was Audrey Lubin, who was a daughter of my great-grandfather's first wife. And they hosted many celebrities in the 30s in the Grand Island Mansion.com. That's a famous building. Both FDR and Greta Garbo stayed there, and they ended up having to sell off a lot of the orchards in the Depression. The address there is 13415 Grand Island Road, Walnut Grove, California, 95690. And my great-grandmother's name was Florence Plattenauer. And she was born 1864 and married David Lubin in 1897. They were actually married in Pennsylvania, which kind of blows me away. In 1900, they lived in New York. But back to the cards, this is the energy of as above, so below, and creation. At 1154, the alignment of the Page of Swords, that could be Libra energy right there as well, with the Queen of Cups and the Empress and the Holy Grail of reflection in a granddaughter's eyes of water and Taurus. The 21 of the world and Pisces energy and indigo and the mysteries of life. The 49 of the family circles and getting wishes, and the 37 of the King of Cups, who needs to detach and look up here. Also, James Gandolfini came up because he's got the same birthday as me. He was born in Westwood, New Jersey, and he was I never watched The Sopranos, but he was famous from The Sopranos. Then the number one song in 61 was Take Good Care of My Baby. And the most popular names in 61 were Michael and Lisa. Also, I always consider myself a baby boomer, but it lists me at the beginning of Gen X, 61 to 79, and the flower is aster. But also, someone had brought up, and someone I had heard talking about this, that the blue moon, or maybe I read that here in like Wiki or something like that, or whatever full moon program came up here. But the blue moon, that triple blue moon, no, the blue moon, like we call the blue moon a blue moon every year, but an actual blue moon only comes up every 2.5 years, according to what I was reading. So, the indigo child reflects the weeping willow of love and the mother star for a serious look at birth and the mother-daughter connection, making the King of Cups feel left out. As Cancer, Taurus, and Pisces here, with the Queen of Cups, the Empress, and the King of Cups, with the world and self-satisfaction, and that can reference a mother and her two children, or perhaps an older woman with a couple here of the Queen of Cups and the King of Cups. But the 10 and the 50 of the destined union and a new dawn, as the sun is welcomed back, and I was just getting welcome back, Cotter, to the silvery moon in June and Excalibur, of rays or wands and swords or thoughts, as day and night and the dawning of dark night, the knight in shining armor, which is being referenced here as the full moon, of June, and then July of Cancer to Leo. So the full moon in June is 6-3, and July is 7-3 as well, the strawberry and book moons. And the new moons are June 18th and July 17th. Night and day, you are the one. And again, the times that came up were coming up in Philadelphia here. But at 12:17, the hanging man and the star, the underlying energy of the 50 of the spirit of the river, 62 of the will o' the wisp, and the 3 of the benefactors, the 33 of the joyful muse, the 15 of the dust devil, 12 of the dragon's horde. The family movement towards adventure here, with treasures reminding you that are hidden in the shadows. At 62 of that 8 of swords, when you're feeling in prison, remember that the gifts that are given to you when you come out of that. The Empress being the benefactor of grace and generosity, and the 33 of the Christ unity inspiring the arts of water and mushrooms, and my mother was very much into the arts and supporting that. Mushrooms and musical instruments, and mother and son. Kicking up the dust with Taurus, Capricorn, and Pisces, cleaning up their hoard, or to hoard, or collapsing in upon oneself. With Sky Dancer, and I was just getting Tiny Dancer, the 48 of going within, surrendering within while in flight, after hoarding or hunched, and then arched, hanging and then dancing or taking a walk, with the 18 and the eyes of the eagle, and again the seagull, the Sophia's eagle, or to see the gull, and the southern eagle coming up here. The moon in Cancer, full moon, the 7-3, and the new moon, 7-1-7. In the eye of the eagle, that's now fully open as opposed to squinty and channeled or with blinders on, with the periphery open after and I'm getting like the borders being open. The eye of the eagle fully open as the borders are all, the periphery becomes fully open after protecting and surrendering and rising above the fray. The 19 of the sky writing of the fates, with the feathers, clouds, and light of defeat and toes, and the symbols all coming up from this card as the hourglass, but on its side, like the part of the feminine and masculine of the infinity symbol that are actually joined, where the outer sides of the half circle are still the parts of them that are themselves alone. The hourglass is what's joined between the twins in the middle of the infinity symbol. And then the K of energy, the M of co-creation, and the F of digamma, and then the two flags coming in with a space between as the end of the race. So after unification of the hour, or as an hourglass, but hourglass, like not time, but belonging to us, the unification of the hourglass sealing, right? So the sealing of hourglass, the veil, and the feathery energy that goes into co-creation of the spark of light to the tippy toes into the digamma, twin flame energy, about to arrive at the finish line, the double diamond, double gate, beyond the fourth quarter of who, woe, man, race, of ray and seal, soldering the gate closed. At 12:35, the hanging man and the wounded warrior, and the 57 of the Three of Swords, and the unmarked trail of revelations. Under extreme pressure and confusion of direction, unmarking Ed's T-rail, or top dog position, turning the coal into diamond, or two almonds, two worlds, eyes wide open to the 59 inner war of the wailing tree of reconciliation, and the 21 of the world and coming full circle in that first breath of the beginner's mind. After separation and heartache and the inner war of the tree, coming full circle, whole and complete, one must leap out in faith before leaping back in, a nightly transition of sleep and wake. At 12:39, the underlying energy with the Knight of Cups there and the Hanging Man, of the 4 of simplicity, the 58 of beauty, the 6 of the angel of Jupiter awaken, and the 7 of shifting universe, with the 30 of the towering magnificence, and the 54 of the earth angel, and the page of swords. So the emperor rests or retires with lover in beauty rest. The angel of benevolent alignment in the boomerang shift, one verse at a time, as in universes, right? So it's a contradiction. It's one verse, but it's universes. So there's multiple one verses. In your show of power of distant seas or vision, and again, this is universes broken down, your show of power of distant seas or vision, or your show of power of the arch, the cousin, to see true, real, wormhole, to mint or strike, bang, throb, pant, palpitate, a husband, a line of water that's trailing the boat or oar, the sea, the ocean, the oasis, to be, the spring, the morning, the blood before, to observe, understand, spot, view, and watch, to find oneself, or vermec, to give consent for sex or put out, to show your power, advertising the miracle, the true heart's passion that sees clearly now. I can see clearly now, the rain has gone. And then universes. One verse with an S at the end, a contradiction. To be this and that, one or all. The union of the sentinels, of earth angels, the 5D lovers in their chariot in union with earth angel making its bed. the lambda or father leap to catch the number 5, which here is coming up as ether or at the core of it. So they're saying that the core becomes ether. The lambda leap to catch the number 5, ether or at the core of it at 12:54, the hanging man's message. All elementals as one. As the 44 rings of time and Hercules, her Q, lesson, course or forest, cover, hideway or ambush, blind offsides to spy and google, peep, pry and stare, to read or cram or leash and deceive, confused by the forest through the trees, the tail, the coffin, the lumber, the woods, to ye all, lazy, tired and fed up and least, the queen's gambit and the hero's games, his game but her pawn, or one little piece of the game is what takes him down, never seeing it coming and never nearing the end. She willing to sacrifice a piece of herself to win his heart. It was never about this game to her. The fourth finger, so again, the queen's gambit and the hero's games, his game but her pawn, or one little piece of the game, is what takes him down, never seeing it coming. She willing to sacrifice a piece of herself to win his heart. It was never about his game to her. From the fourth finger to the fourth chakra rings a bell of boom, rang, as Mercury and Gabe prepare, Hercules in the retirement home, reaping rewards of her harvest, her bulletproof vest, of hinge, articulation and laughter, hair, caterpillar that becomes something else, hinging on a narrow opening or gap, even and honorable, grace, as she. The 14 of falling feathers, an old woman's, a bell, and an angel got their wings, as the 51 is the king of swords who dares to dream a little, perhaps as child and grandparents learn to give and receive love from and to each other, giving the king of swords a bit of leeway. As the 56 two of swords dance of the planets, the two of swords hand in hand, dancing through all of it, both the cyclone and the vortex. The underlying energy at 114 and the angels and the higher love is the king of swords of 2023, the year of the high priestess and divine feminine, and the king of wands with space between. The 6 of cups with the king of swords and the king of wands, freeing the king of swords along with the page of swords to study and to learn, to be a kid again and learn about or invite the high priestess to sit at their side of the king of pentacles, inspired by her queen of swords words to the emperor despite his disapproval, motivated him to move forward and make an offer to the 9 of pentacles sovereign Ketch to partner up with them one-to-one with or as the queen of pentacles. But the wounded warrior is defensive as the dark night bowls over anyone in their way to manifest and purge, to transform right before their eyes, as the Knight of Swords rushes back along with the Knight of Wands, who may be competing to save the day or cover them, as the Queen of Wands deals with the Page of Cups to mediate temptation, and the justice of the devil, or a message of love from Libra Capricorn here. So the Page of Swords offers to go back with the King of Wands, so that the King of Swords in the middle can be free for an opportunity, or the Page of Pentacles to study with the King of Pentacles, or perhaps tutor, or both studying together with the High Priestess, or Pisces or Virgo, or 2 kids with a babysitter, so that the King of Pentacles can ask, along with the Queen of Swords, the Emperor to help them get back on their feet, or gain their independence, or help with a pregnancy, or to invest with the 9 of Pentacles and Queen of Pentacles partnership, or siblings who are all coming together, but the wounded warrior and or dark knight can't go or wasn't invited. As the dark knight or Scorpio moves on to manifest big, or with the right tools, purge and deliverance of multiple packages from the Queen of Wands to the Page of Cups, mediating with their shadow or child of divorce, or parting from abusive parents and finding their independence, or Libra Capricorn waving goodbye with love to the Queen of Wands and the Knight of Wands, already half out the back door to resurrection. Or the Devil takes the stand and swears in, or Capricorn just waves to the Empress driving by with lover or Taurus or mother and Gemini, or mother or grandmother going between Capricorn and Gemini, or in Temptation and the Light, or Capricorn and Gemini are taking turns driving them places, or the Empress is ascending with their divine lover at 133, the masculine and the Christ vibration, and the Knight of Cups offering love to the King of Cups, which then makes them happy as the Hermit illuminates what makes them light up. Or the Knight of Cups is the Knight of Cups is passing their cup to the King of Cups, or loving themselves with the Hermit who takes notice and actually says so, as the Pisces or Divine Feminine Queen of Cups opens her heart and offers a choice of a new path to take. Or the Knight of Cups and King of Cups are coming in to see Virgo and Pisces, or Hermit and Neighbor, or Pisces Queen of Cups, who could be a Cancer too, and or Twin Flame. As the underlying energy of the Eagle and the Grapes of Triumph and Fun then come up next, but I'm not going to go into that whole one. The energy of the Heart deck that I pulled was Aquarius in the underlying energy, along with the 11 of Justice, or Libra. And the first card that came out was the Sun with 13, the Jupiter with 18, and then transition of Leo and Scorpio with the Moon, with Saggy and Cancer, and Ganymede was coming up, the Jupiter's moon. Okay, and so, yeah, Shasta was coming up too. I was watching Elizabeth April. She was channeling from Shasta, and I had actually gone up Shasta with my family when we went to spread my parents' ashes out west. So that felt significant to me, so you could check her out if you want to. But she was bringing up the energy of the Pleiadians as guarding overhead, and the Yael as more of a lighthearted, childlike energy in the earth, and then the some guards of the mountain that just did that. But you can check out her message about that. So as we go on here to this last read from today, here we have the first deck was, sorry, this fluff getting on there. The first deck here is the Journey of Love, the Past Life deck, the Wild Unknown, the Metatron deck, and then the half deck of Rider-Waite at the bottom there. So this one was pulled from 1102 to 1106 this morning. The 11 of Justice and the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is the High Priestess, the Empress, the Emperor, the Hierophant, and the Lovers. And it's 5:40 on my clock right now. I was just guided to look there. So that's the Hierophant and the 40 of the Page of Cups. Taurus and Pisces most likely for me. And it's 1:38 on this clock here, which is the Queen of Cups and the Magician. So the oracle I just read you was from yesterday, but the heart deck that came up today was the underlying energy of when you pass, you only take the memories of love with you, right? You don't take anything else. And the first card out was romance, Cupid's arrow strikes, and then playfulness, laughter is the best medicine. So the cards at the end of each deck from this read were 42212 and 93736. The Emperor, the Fool, hanging out, the Hermit with the King of Cups, and Atlas, hard work, or Empress, lover or mother, the 2 of Cups of the feminine and masculine, hermiting with the Empress, or lovers out in the cold, and the Lambda leap, or Lambda father leap, to the 212, or divine feminine's world, or complete and present with unconditional love, and the Empress, lover or mother here. At 2:02, and I started processing at 11:11, then at 12:02, the underlying energy was the 35 of intimacy. And there's that, again, that tree of the sun shining through the trees, like the crucifixion card in the Mary Magdalene deck. The 35 of intimacy and the trees and the owl. The 26 of pink and justice of 11. The wounded warrior surrenders to intimacy, the sunlight through the tree's canopy, the wise owl in the page of wands life bulb, the Magdalene scalloped shell phased array in the meeting with the sun's rays, through wisdom and stillness, in justice for all. And I got big connection right there. And again, there's the rays of coming from the womb of the new child and connecting with the sun's rays coming through the trees. In the fiery seed for two's intimacy, between the crucifixion and rebirth, lies the wise owl or bird, a hoot, where justice lies on the outside, a 3D structure, with Sagittarius and Libra here. At 12:08, the hangman and strength, or the dance of creating your dreams, the underlying energy of the 31 of the Christed flame and his suffering, and the distant shores of the 18, the 4 moons and the etheric ripples out to the world of violet and emerald under the bridge in rough seas, and yet the 46, just for a moment joy, as a child or two, with arms flung up in the air and heart wide open to receive a punch of light. The page of Pentacles 68 being called to drop into your heart for Cancer romance and earthy surrender of fiery wounded warrior to intimacy. In Source, Maz, C. The first next card is the 32 of the journey of devotion to the small and keeping it simple. The 61, again, with she loves and takes a risk to love. The 5 of the communal dance of freedom and change, and the expansion out to the community to help with the egg. The wounded warrior's journey through risky business. So again, there's this energy of the feminine going back to their original roles, right, as the carer of the children in the household, and the masculine being the defender and the carer of the community, or outside the home. And the 12:17 of the hanging man and the star of the 24 of spaces, the 2 and the 4, and the spaces between the words. 26 of the guardian, right, the inner child, the new seed, who becomes the guardian of the family. The 39 of let the feminine lead the way, and the 17 of her grace as omega-3s and algae and algae and illumination of E of A to Z. The Queen of Wands births, and the Page of Wands is the guardian of the soul family, as the Knight of Cups is the feminine that leads the way, the E, with her 17 of healing grace. Crowning, birthing, wrangling, and extending is the feminine's energy here. As her arm grows longer, as Pinocchio's nose grows longer, it's that same kind of energy. At 12:21. The 47 and the 41 of the synchronistic pearls of wisdom softening to the Holy Grail. The 7 of Cups and the Ace of Cups of Mary Magdalene, of knowing without knowing, Buttercup and Hercules, her Q lesson, or course through the forest, the googly-eyed feminine, and cramming it all in to get to the other side. At 12:27, the Ace of Wands, or the flame, of Mary Magdalene, of 10, 8, and 66, of the 10 and the 8 of 18, which is the Chai, and the 66 of the Queen of Pentacles, but also the 2 spirals of the heart that become the rose. The coming together on October 8th, or high vibe 3 to 1 jump into the vortex, to dance and bend, to reach the crystal point of no return. Just turn and turn and turn and turn. So there is a reason to turn and turn and turn. Of the yin-yang lover and coming together with the Queen of Pentacles and Route 66 to the Golden Gate. Churning it out in the heart to spiral together in the rose. At 12:30, the hanging man and the union and the underlying energy of the mother's aqua rose gold heart. The Celtic Neanderthal and the mother home with the children reading a book. Authority figures with sparkling gavels. You never know these days who's actually in power, and that was a positive thing. As Egypt reflects in the sky of 2 pyramids, a cloud of M through which the sun rises through it. And I'm getting that energy of the river running through it. Filling and filtering through the light through the cloud and the trees. The ENT, or the talking tree. the authority on Egypt's pyramids and light through the canopy? Or is that Elena Denon, which is, her initials are ED, of Ed, or extra dimensional, as she is a speaker of extra dimensionals, and Elizabeth April, which is EA of Ea, or again, the Anunnaki, connecting with Mr. Ed, and Ea, or Egi and Egoth was also coming up, the humanoid and the ego, and which side are you expressing of yourself right now, the human side or the extra dimensional, as the mother commands the son to come home at 12:37, the Hanging Man and the King of Cups, hanging out with the King of Cups and unconditional love. The biblical energy as she plants the flowers in that first row of cards and cares for the little ones, the carpenter hammers in that last leg of the bench or beach. As the orphan Annie gets her wings, the man she loves, as the angels gather round to sing, the carpenter, the orphan, and Mother Mary with connections in high places, as the male and female are back to back, with Asian cowardice, that yellowness of cowardice, heart blocks here, and civil wars, where the cards were coming up right here as Ma, Wa, and Ba, as that energy of mothers crying for their babies and their bottles, of wars and battles within families, cities, countries, and outer worlds. It's all home territory, and there's no place like home. In the loss of parents in war, and only one child in China laws, the loss of a child, and domination differences. Imagine each flag just a white one in a golf hole, a guide to the center, to just surrender to all that is, all who are, regardless of the flag's color or emblem, that we're all in a circle of white light in the end. The circle of trust, which is the true path. When you come full circle, you're never at the same spot, for you are spiraling and the energy has changed, whether it just changed slightly or you took a large leap at 12:50, the Hanging Man and the Ten of Cups. So the underlying energy here is, dear ones, I sing to you from baby's breath. And that's that energy of the very first breath. The nightingale's song, or Florence with respect. My great-grandmother, or Liz or Liza in Phoenix. The power of the lie and the pH of the buffoon, or sensitivity of the phoenix rising from the life bulb through the trees to the buffalo and the unicorn, or grounding pad and the 5D gate holder of the buff unicorn and Mr. Bojangles, guarding the golden egg with the wise one, a wise nest egg for the little ones, or father standing guard as the wise mother guards the nest, and or vice versa. At 12:57, the Hanging Man and the Three of Swords of separation and heartbreak or disappointment. The swans reflect each other, she with the little ones, and he with the bench and support systems. The raccoon who's masked and hiding, the little one who's alone and sad, and yet she loves. As the butterfly blooms, an angel gets their wings, a celebration as the community gathers around the little one to help them along, taking their first steps, and then lifting them when they are wounded. So the bear comes out here, and the dolphin is so happy as the graceful gazelle mother watches the father and the child play. The black panther then snarls for the beaver to get back to work, as the oyster clams up but puts their feelers out instead. For where did the fish go? Well, they're out of water, and very ungrounded and out of their element, as the underlying energy is the 48 and the Om, the void, going within, and the 30 of union, with the crown and the diamond overhead. The 9 of action, 36 of the inner child of Atlas, the 35 of the Kundalini, and the 26 of being in the pink. Within the emerald heart of Saint Dolphin, or Sandolphin, the Fool with an open heart, the Knight of Cups, who goes within to the 9 of hermiting, and then movement is needed. So then guidance for the inner child, to hear and know them, your map of intent, to leave the victim behind with rising kundalini and nurturing the womb instead. The 26 of the Page of Wands and the Pink of Compassion, the Knight of Cups and the Page of Wands Hermit, to heal. The 43 of the Three of Cups and coming together to pause and receive. Excited Page of Wands at 108, the Masculine and the Dance. Excited Page of Wands for the Page of Swords and their special message. From the Castle on Cloud 9 0-point field, a rocket takes off, leaving a trail of breadcrumbs behind. The wounded warrior's trail of kundalini fire. Excited with a message in return. They answered me. Or Saggy and Aries and Virgo and Aquarius, or the emotion of laughter here, with the magic to conquer your fears at 111. Then 3 cards came out, 111, which was separate from the 111 time. The 23 of the King of Wands and their duality, as the King of Wands is off balance this year and needing to go with the flow in the canoe on the salt river. The 2 of Cups, 1-to-1, face to face, romancing Mother Nature and the stone. The ice cubits and grounding support of iced Qs and iced Ts, or quarts and quarters, as June and Cancer romance ascend upon us. The summer solstice, or the soul's or sun's path of ice, or the inner child, with E at the end, which is the egg cracked open. So the underlying energy of the Knight of Swords peeks out here, and the Hermit holds the light, 1-to-1, with the Page of Wands and the Queen of Swords talking to the world. The Divine Feminine, the neighbor, or Pisces, naked and free. From Pisces to Aries, the Page of Swords, Page of Pentacles, and Page of Cups. The 3 little musketeers, or all sorts of messages in return. As the North Node has come full circle from Pisces to Taurus and back to Aries now, 7/18/23, the King of Swords is being advised to partner and be inspired by the Queen of Swords to help free the kids and the pets to be themselves. With the Page of Swords, Page of Pentacles, and Page of Cups, as well as the Knight of Swords and Knight of Wands, who are all here and excited, as the 6 of Cups and Knight of Cups are inspired to offer love to the Queen of Cups once they've all left. The Dark Knight and Knight of Pentacles propose to Sovereign Ketch, as the King of Wands lover offers his wand to her. Or 2023, there's a lot of love for the twin flames. Finding satisfaction with selves, the High Priestess, pure, clear, or sister, aid, nurse, assistant to the King of Pentacles, or medical group. Perhaps a new position opens up for someone here, with the High Priestess, King of Pentacles, the Magician, and Justice, Pisces, Virgo, Gemini, and Libra, or 2 in court, the boardroom, or hospital, or nurse and doctors at their practice. At 140 is the Magician and the Page of Cups, and the 1 of the Queen of Wands with Judge or Justice or Libra, looking at the Queen of Pentacles, remember who's 66, with the wounded warrior giving them the evil eye, or protecting the Queen of Pentacles from the Queen of Wands. As the King of Cups is tempted by the Empress, or waving to her, or Capricorn is between the King of Cups and the Empress, or in the car, with or to the Emperor who's stressed out with backseat drivers, with the Empress and the Emperor on the road with the King of Cups, who may be the one who's in the back, who's toxic and telling them what to do. Capricorn, Taurus, Cancer, and Aries, perhaps Saggy and Libra here too. Or the Empress and the Emperor are waving goodbye and hitting the road with no sleep at 145, which is the 5 of Cups, and that can be doing some purging there or suffering, and that can be leaving after coming in for a funeral or, a celebration of life. And then at 146, which is the 6 of Cups, they could also be leaving the courtroom and can't wait to get out of there, or it can't be too soon. So that was the energy for you guys. All right, so I'm just going to pull a quick card since we're already at 153. So let's just pull an energy card and see what comes up. No, actually, I want to pull an animal card from this deck. So I'm going to pull an animal card. It was just 555 on the clock, too. It's now 5:56. What is our takeaway from all the messages today of true love and mastery? One more. All right. What is our takeaway from all the messages today? And there we go. We got 2 here, or 3. All purple. Look at that. The Emperor's the 4, and the little mouse within the Emperor with his flowers, the dear mouse. Structure and organization are important right now. Don't be afraid to take on a leadership role, as you have much wisdom to offer. I love that little mouse. And then 16 of the Tower and life experience, which is the cuckoo. Important changes are coming into your life that will require you to take action, but don't hesitate to move in a new direction or new directions as you know are right for you, that you know are right for you. We have a butterfly in that picture as well. We also have the ego here with 15 and the devil, and the shadow side with the chained cat, the Siamese cat. You may find that you're trapped in your situation, but that's not true. Be careful not to overly focus upon material wealth and break free of negative thinking. So again, you're holding yourself in that prison here. So we have the Emperor, the Tower, and the shadow side. So it's like he's blasting away his fears, his negativity, his shadow side, the being worried about being chained by being committed to someone else, that kind of thing, or perhaps masculines who've been trapped into relationships before, or shotgun weddings and things like that, and needing to learn to let go of their fears about that, right? Because when they go with the flow, they're going with the universal flow, which is their best way of getting to where they need to go. So not to be afraid to go through it. The life experience and the shadow side of things. To go through the shadow to get through the light. And again, there's that energy of transcendence. The deer mouse, the cuckoo, and the Siamese cat. And that can also be, right, the energy of the masculine and the one he's chained to, and then the divine feminine seen as the one flew over the cuckoo's nest in the middle. But they're all the purple energies, which is I guess those are the trump cards of the deck. So these are all major arcana. All right, so there's your energy. And it's just before 6 o'clock. It's 5:59 on that clock, and it's 1:57 here. So we're about to hit 6 o'clock and 2 o'clock, or 2 hours. So that's it, guys. True love and mastery. Remember your water, to breathe deeply every day. Remember your rest, your joy, and your nature, and to follow your own intuition, your own knowing, and just be joyful at 6 o'clock. Rise and be love. I'll see you guys soon. Have an amazing day, guys. Bye.